Human beings fear pain, loss, death, loneliness. But perhaps another fear exists. The fear of becoming invisible. Not unseen physically. Forgotten politically. Silenced socially. Disconnected from others. Few thinkers explored this darkness more deeply than Hannah Arendt. A philosopher who watched history break. And asked, what happens when human beings lose their world? Tonight, we explore Arendt's philosophy of suffering, loneliness, freedom, power, thought, and the fragile space where humanity survives. Part 1: Suffering is not always private. People often imagine suffering as individual. My sadness. My anxiety. My loneliness. Arendt looked outward. She asked, what kind of society creates suffering? Can political systems wound the soul? Can isolation become collective? For Arendt, the answer was yes. Humans do not live alone. Reality itself is shared. Language, memory, community, meaning. When these collapse, people suffer together. Part 2: Loneliness and Isolation. Arendt distinguished solitude, isolation, loneliness. Solitude may create reflection. Isolation separates action. Loneliness is deeper. It is the feeling of no longer belonging to a human world. Loneliness weakens connection. And according to Arendt, extreme loneliness can make people vulnerable. Not only emotionally, politically. Because isolated individuals lose shared reality. They become easier to manipulate. Part 3: The Origins of Dehumanization. Arendt studied totalitarian systems. She observed something terrifying. Large-scale suffering often begins gradually. Language changes. People become categories. Groups become labels. Human beings become abstractions. Distance grows. Empathy weakens. And eventually, people stop seeing one another fully. Arendt believed dehumanization creates enormous suffering because it destroys dignity. Not only bodies. Identity itself. Part 4: The Banality of Evil. Arendt's most controversial idea. The banality of evil. She argued, evil does not always appear dramatic. Sometimes it looks ordinary, routine, administrative, thoughtless. People may participate in harmful systems without hatred. Only obedience. Only habit. Only silence. This frightened Arendt deeply. Because it meant suffering can emerge not only from cruelty, but from absence of reflection. Part 5: Thinking as Resistance. Arendt believed thinking matters. Not intelligence. Not information. Thinking. Reflection. Questioning. The ability to pause and ask, is this right? Should this continue? What kind of person am I becoming? For Arendt, thought protects humanity. Without reflection, systems continue automatically. People become functions, roles, mechanisms. Thinking interrupts machinery. Part 6: The Loss of the World. Humans need more than survival. Food matters. Safety matters. But Arendt believed people also require belonging, participation, shared meaning, the ability to appear before others. When individuals lose this, they lose part of their world. Modern loneliness often reflects this. People remain connected digitally, yet feel invisible emotionally. Seen everywhere, known nowhere. Part 7: Freedom and Action. Freedom for Arendt was not isolation. It was participation. Speaking. Acting. Appearing in public life. Humans become fully human through interaction. Silence imposed from outside creates suffering. Because action disappears. Voice disappears. Possibility disappears. Arendt believed freedom lives between people. Not inside one person alone. Part 8, Modern Loneliness. Arendt might look at modern society and ask, why are people surrounded, yet alone? Why does communication increase, while belonging decreases? Technology connects information. Not always humanity. Humans need recognition. Conversation. Presence. Without these, loneliness grows quietly. And suffering follows. Part 9, Human Dignity. Arendt defended dignity fiercely. Every human being possesses uniqueness. A perspective. A voice. A beginning. She called this natality. The capacity to begin something new. Even after suffering. Even after collapse. Humans retain possibility. This separates Arendt from darker pessimists. She saw fragility. But also renewal. Part 10, Final Reflection. Arendt believed suffering is not only pain. It can be loneliness. Silencing. Isolation. Loss of dignity. Loss of shared reality. Perhaps humans survive not only through strength, but through each other. Through thought. Through presence. Through remembering humanity. The world exists between people. And perhaps, so does hope.